Some of you might be wondering why we would use a game engine as powerful as Unreal Engine to make 2D and 2D 3D hybrid games. The obvious alternatives would be Unity and Godot, and yes, on first glance they are better suited for 2D games and might be the right choice for a lot of people. However, there are also many reasons why you might choose to use Unreal Engine over those, and in the end it's a decision you have to make for yourself. One of the biggest reasons for me to pick Unreal Engine over the other alternatives is the general workflow with Unreal Engine and Blueprint visual scripting. This system allows you to create entire games without having to write a single line of code through a node-based editor. This makes it easier for artists and game designers to also help out doing projects, but even programmers will be able to work much faster using this over C++, and it can cut down development time immensely. Unity, for example, also has a visual scripting solution, however Epic Games has been doing this for a much longer time and their Blueprint system is much more fleshed out and streamlined. The next big reason is that you might want to create 2D 3D hybrid games instead of 2D only games. In that case, you'll mix sprites with 3D backgrounds and elements, which will allow you to make use of many of Unreal Engine's amazing features to create a really unique and high quality look. For these type of games, I would say that Unreal Engine excels over those other alternatives, since with Unreal Engine everything looks good right out of the box. With other engines, you'll have to spend a lot of time on lighting and materials to get things looking right, and this can be extremely hard if you're a solo dev or more comfortable with the programming side of things. However, with how the lighting and post-processing works in Unreal Engine, things just look great right from the get-go, and you can concentrate on building the gameplay mechanics right away. At some point you might also want to make 3D games as well, and having made 2D games with Unreal Engine will allow you to easily transition over into doing that, since it works in a very similar way. Most of the gameplay related things you learn in this course will also apply to 3D as well. Another reason are the licensing terms. With Unreal Engine you don't have to pay anything to Epic Games unless your project makes $1 million or more in gross revenue. For Unity and other engines, these terms can be a lot more complicated and you'll get a much worse deal in most cases. Epic Games as a company is also doing great and in a really stable position thanks to all the money they make from Fortnite. So you can be sure that Unreal Engine will grow consistently for a long time. Epic Games also has a lot of experience creating games and will often bring the knowledge they gain by doing that back into Unreal Engine by adding new features and making things more streamlined. Also, when creating 2D and 2D 3D hybrid games with Unreal, you have a pretty high chance of getting an Epic Mega Grant. These grants are usually given out to projects that stand out and create value for Epic Games, and there are many 2D projects and 2D plugins which have gotten financial support through these grants. Unreal Engine is also very expandable and built to be modular, so it allows you to create your own plugins with ease and create code you can reuse through multiple projects. It also allows you to add new functionality you might need to improve your workflow. There are also more successful 2D and 2D 3D hybrid games made with Unreal Engine than you might think. The biggest player in this field is Square Enix, who created Octopath Traveler, Octopath Traveler 2, Triangle Strategy and Live Alive with Unreal Engine 4, and coined the term HD2D. This has been working out great for them, and each of these titles made millions of dollars, which prompted them to also create a Dragon Quest III remake in this style, which is currently in development. But there are also many smaller game studios using Unreal Engine for these kind of projects. Just to name a few, Ender Lilies, Backbone, Detained and The Vagrant also have been created using Unreal Engine 4. And I actually made a full YouTube video showing off all Unreal Engine 2D and 2D 3D hybrid games, which I attached to this lecture.